Hello, my fellow pod pals, commander connoisseurs, and all-around Magic the Gathering enjoyers. Welcome to Argos MTG, the channel you can count on to find all the newest commanders from every new main and side set. Welcome to part 2 of our Marvel Superheroes set review. In this video, we'll be going over all the red and green cards that could take the helm of your next commander deck. I'm Archer.
And I'm Aaron. A quick disclaimer, like last time, we'll probably be using nicknames or abbreviations for some of the cards with the more unique names. Also, by no means are either of us judges, nor do we claim to be. We both just enjoy talking about this game, so please, if you've gotten any rules, mechanics, or interactions wrong, please let us know down below.
Yeah, lastly, if you haven't watched our part 1, just really quick, we're trying something new, more so with the UB product because of the amount of legends, the MCSs, as we've been calling them. So please go back and watch part 1 to fully understand what we're talking about. Basically, there's just a bunch of legends that are suffering from main character syndrome, where they think they're really good just because they're the main character, but they're actually just terrible legends. They're legends for the sake of being legends because they're part of Marvel. So that adds a lot of bulk. So basically what we're doing is at the start of each color, we'll be quickly going over and just doing a speed run of these cards and just reading them off and saying very little about them. By no means does that mean all of these cards are bad. Some of them might just be like really obvious build-arounds and things that don't really need much said about them. So yeah, with all that out of the way, let's meet the newest legends from Marvel Superheroes, starting with our red cards, being Abomination, World Ravager. 7 and a red for a 10/10 legendary creature, Gamma Berserker villain, with Menace and Trample. It has Mayhem, 4 and a red, reminder for Mayhem. You may cast this card from from your graveyard for 4 and a red if you discarded it this turn. Timing rules still apply. Next, Black Widow, Natasha Romanoff, 1 and a red for a 2/2 legendary creature, human assassin hero. Next, Chase Steen, Runaway, 1 and a red for a 2/2 legendary creature, human hero. Tap, discard a card, exile the top card of your library until the end of your next turn. You may play that card. I will quickly say this now because I forgot to say it before. I am going to start not saying legendary creature as I did in part 1, just to speed things up. I will say if it's an artifact or if it's a planeswalker or if it's something else besides a legendary creature, but since all of these should be legendary, I will just skip the legendary creature bit to speed things along. So next, Electra, Femme Fatale, I think. Yeah. 3 and a red for a 3/2 human assassin hero. When Electra enters, you may have her deal 2 damage to you. When you do, she deals 4 damage to target creature. Happy Hogan, Dauntless Driver, 1 red for a 2/1 human pilot. Next, Hulk, Always Angry, 5 red for a 9/9 Gamma Berserker hero, Trample. When Hulk enters, destroy all artifacts. Hulk attacks each combat if able. Next, Hulk Bruce Banner, 3 red for a 7/4 Gamma Berserker hero, Trample. Next, Human Torch, Johnny Storm, 2 and a red for a 2/2 human hero, Flying. Whenever you draw a card, if you control another hero, Human Torch deals 1 damage to target opponent. Power Up, 6 and a red. Put 3/1/1 counters on Human Torch. Next, we have Iron Fist, Hero for Hire, 1 and a red for a 2/2 human mercenary hero with Trample and Prowess. Reminder for Prowess, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, that creature gets +1/+1 until this creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Also has Power Up for 7 and a red. Iron Fist deals 5 damage divided as you choose among up to 5 targets. Put 5/1/1 counters on Iron Fist. Next is Iron Fist, Living Weapon, 2 and a red for a 2/3 human warrior hero. Whenever you cast a spell that targets a creature you control, Iron Fist gains tap. Iron Fist deals damage equal to its power to any other target until end of turn. Then we have Jack of Hearts, volatile hero, 1 red for a 2/2 alien human hero with flying and haste. When Jack of Hearts dies, he deals damage equal to his power to each creature. Power up for 4 red red, discard your hand, then draw 3 cards. Put 2 1 counters on Jack of Hearts. Then we have Jessica Jones, Private Eye. 2/3 human detective hero. Tap, put a stun counter on Jessica Jones. Exile the top X cards to your library where X is Jessica Jones' power. You may play those cards this turn. Then we have Lady Spider.
Maybell.
Maybell Riley?
Yeah.
Yeah, Maybell Riley. 1/3 Spider Human Hero with reach. Whenever you discard a card, put a 1/1 counter on target spider you control. Then we have Living Lightning, charged up. 4 in a red for a 3/3 elemental hero with flying, haste, and at the beginning of combat on your turn, another target creature you control gets +1/+0 and gains haste until end of turn. Then we have Luke Cage, hero for hire. 2 red red for a 4/4 human mercenary hero with trample. At the beginning of combat on your turn, create a treasure token. Then we have Mystic Knight, hero for hire. 1 in a red for a 3/1 human detective hero. 2, tap, discard a card, draw a card for each card you've discarded this turn. Molly Haynes Runaway, 2 in a red for a 3/3 mutant hero with power up. 5 in a red. Put 2 1/1 counters on Molly Haynes. Exile the top card of your library until the end of your next turn. You may play that card. Then we have Quicksilver Brash Blur, 1 red for a 1/1 mutant hero. If Quicksilver Brash Blur is in your opening hand, you may begin with the game with him on the battlefield. Haste, power, and then he has power up for 4 in a red. Put a 1/1 counter and a double strike counter on Quicksilver. Then we have Quicksilver, Pietro Maximoff, 2 in a red for a 3/2 mutant hero with haste. Then we have Scarlet Witch, Wanda Maximoff, 2 in a red for a mutant warlock hero with 2/3 mutant warlock hero with menace. And we have She-Hulk, Jennifer Walters, 3 in a red for a 4/4 gamma berserker hero with trample. 2 in a red, sacrifice a land, draw a card, and put a 1/1 counter on She-Hulk. Speed Young Avenger, 1 in a red for a 2/2 mutant hero with haste. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you may pay 1 generic. When you do, target creature with haste can't be blocked this turn except by creatures with haste. Then we have Spider-Man, Hometown Hero, 4 in a red for a 5/4 Spider Human Hero with reach. Whenever Spider-Man enters, target creature with power 2 or less can't be blocked this turn. Then we have Spider-Man Web Spinner, 3 in a red for a 2/3 Spider Human Hero with double strike and haste. Whenever Spider-Man attacks, target creature can't be blocked this turn. Then we have Stick Fearless Mentor, 1 in a red for a 2/1 human monk hero. First strike, whenever a source you control deals damage to you, exile the top card of your library. You may play it until the end of your next turn. This ability triggers only once each turn. Then we have The Wizard, classic speedster, 3 in a red for a 3/3 human hero with first strike and haste. Then we have War Machine, Avenging Arsenal, 4 in a red for a 3/5 legendary artifact creature, human hero with flying. Whenever War Machine attacking modified creatures you control gain double strike until end of turn. Then we have Whirlwind, Killer Cyclone, 2 in a red for a 2/3 mutant villain with haste. Whenever one or more creatures you control that entered this turn attack a player, target creature that player controls can't block this turn. Next is Wonder Man, Hollywood Hero, 3 in red for a 4/4 human performer hero with flying. Each power-up ability of permanents you control can be activated in an additional time. Then power up, 5 red, put 2 1/1 counters on Wonder Man. Then we have Alex Wilder Runaway, 1 in a red for a 1/3 human hero villain. With whenever Alex Wilder or another creature you control enters, if you cast it from anywhere other than your hand, it gets +2/+0 and gains haste until end of turn. It also has Escape for 2 in a red. Exile 3 other cards from your graveyard. Reminder for Escape, you may cast this card from your graveyard for its escape cost. Then we have... Yeah, no,
Yeah.
sorry, that was not a skip one. I don't know why I went past it so quickly. I was just in a blur for that.
He was in the zone. He was going.
I was in the trance. Anyway, yeah. So I think it's because I saw the escape cost and I was like, oh yeah, no, skip.
Yeah.
I mean, escape's not too bad because it gives you a chance to get it back besides casting it from your command zone.
Yeah.
So that's like cool. I think because this was originally on the skip list, I think that's the other reason I went past it. The reason I think I took it off is because if you cast it from anywhere other than your hand, it gets +2 and own gains haste. This is just like this deck could be just like a big creature, like cast from exile deck basically. Just the fact that it gives like potential creatures +2/+0 and haste just means that it adds some more value. It's definitely probably better in the 99,
Yeah.
but like it's just an interesting card. Plus the escape cost is kind of interesting.
Yeah. It's also from Jumpstart, in case you're wondering.
Yes. We will mention all the ones that aren't from the skip/speedrun segments, which set they're from, since there are several different product that these things can come from. Anyway, so our next red card is was that Alicia?
Alicia. Yeah, Alicia.
Master's Skilled Sculptor. 1 and a red for an 0/4 legendary creature, human artificer. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you've cast a non-creature spell this turn, create a treasure token. Then sense the good. At the beginning of your end step, each player gains control of all creatures they own. This is from the Fantastic Four precon.
It's interesting.
Yeah,
I do like, everyone loves creating a treasure token.
Yeah, it's another like semi-ramp piece for red, which I think is always good.
It's always good.
I think we've been kind of referring to these effects that have been coming out more recently as like Ragavan-esque effects.
Yeah.
Where like they don't do as busted things as Ragavan, but it is the Ragavan effect where like red's ramp is treasures on a creature.
Yeah.
Yes, it's only making it once each turn. I mean, unless you have a way of multiple combats, and then you'll get multiple treasures. And then Sense the Good is just like an interesting effect.
Yeah.
It won't come up often, but if it does come up, it'll be kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, moving on, we have Batroc the Leaper. 1 and a red for a 2/2 human villain with multi-kicker 2. You may play... so, reminder for multi-kicker, you may pay an additional 2 mana any number of times as you cast this spell. Batroc enters with a +1/+1 counter on him for each time he was kicked. When he enters, they deal damage equal to... He does damage equal to his power to each of up to X targets, where X is the number of times he was kicked. This could have also been on the skip list, just because multi-kicker is a bit rough. Like, so there's 2 different parts to this, right? So the multi-kicker bit comes into effect only 2 times, and the third one's kind of the one that matters. So he enters with a 1/1 counter on him for each time he was kicked, and the 1/1 counter influences the amount of damage he does, but it doesn't influence how many targets. That is also for the amount of times he was kicked.
Yeah.
So up to X targets, where X is the number of times he was kicked. So when he enters, as long as you kicked him once, you can select 1 target, I believe. Enters, he deals damage equal to his power each up to X targets.
So 1.
Yeah. So 1, 2, or 3. It would have been nice if he got one more extra 1/1 counter, but that might have thrown him off balance a tiny bit. I still think it would have been fine.
Yeah.
But the key thing you could build your deck around here, and the only reason he wasn't on the skip list was just like red instants and sorceries that could buff his power. Because
okay.
I'm pretty sure the way this would work on the stack is you cast him, he enters, the trigger for him dealing the damage goes on the stack. It will check his current power, so if you kicked him once, so he has at least one valid target.
Yeah.
You pick your targets, it checks how much damage, and then you can cast like pump spells to up his damage. So like you can basically make his 1/1 counter thing like, I don't know, better, I guess.
Yeah.
Or
okay.
like yeah, there's ways to make it work. I just wanted to highlight that kind of unique interaction before we
Yeah.
went past him.
Yeah. It makes sense.
But yeah,
I don't know if I would
besides
personally
yeah,
do
no, he otherwise it's kind of useless.
Yeah.
Next we have Daredevil, Fearless Fighter, 2 and a red for a 3/3 human hero. Whenever a source you control deals damage to you, Daredevil deals that much damage to target opponent. Whenever Daredevil attacks, exile the top card of your library. Daredevil deals damage to you equal to that card's mana value. You may play it this turn.
Actually,
and this is
this
from
is interesting.
Jumpstart.
I thought this is an interesting card.
Yeah, definitely.
You're hitting yourself and then hitting someone else while you're at it.
Yeah.
And it's like, it doesn't have to be the source, particularly from the second line of text. It could just be, oh no, someone smacks you, so you go, okay.
Yeah, there's definitely several different ways of doing this. This is another one where I think it would be multitudes better if it affected everyone, just because it's a more fair way of doing it. It's definitely
Yeah.
stronger, but more fair. I think the two different ways of building this is either you fill your deck with a bunch of cards that hurt yourself, or you fill your deck with a bunch of cards that are really expensive.
Yeah.
So the second ability gets more value. And then like preferably some way of like, it's kind of hard in mono red. This would probably be better in a white red kind of esque deck,
Yeah.
where you could gain a bit more life back. But just putting like equipment and stuff that has life link or any other unique ways in red to gain life would also really help this deck out. Let's move on to our next deck. Next card, Fin Fang Foom, 2 red for a 3/5 alien dragon villain with flying. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell that targets an artifact or land, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. Put 2 1/1 counters on Fin Fang Foom. This is this is cool. It's it just basically doubles any of your spells. It's a bit weird with land.
Yeah.
There are
interesting.
some kind of cool things you can do, like there aren't too many mono red lands, but I know some people in the community, mainly I think it's Toma from I can't remember what the channel name is off the top of my head for some reason. MTG Goldfish, I believe it is, has kind of like spread the word of there are spells in red that have the text of like destroy target land. If a land, then that land's controller may search the library for a basic, so it's like mono red ramp.
Yeah.
In which case, if you have indestructible lands, then they can't be destroyed. So you just go fetch
Just
another
go
land.
find one.
Yeah. So in Fin Fang Foom's case, I think there's 1 or 2 in mono red. I think it might only. Well, I think you could find some, but the lands just kind of get worse because they're usually colorless. But like in Fin Fang Foom, that's like 3 mana ramp twice, which is interesting in red. But just like generally speaking, anything that copies spells is pretty good. And it makes Fin Fang Foom bigger for every time you do it as well. And it doesn't have a per once per turn restriction, so he gets big pretty quickly.
That's what I was gonna say. A lot of the copy spells and stuff is sort of usually really good, and we have something to say about it.
Yeah, definitely. Let's move on to our next card, Firebird Blazing Ranger. 2 and a red for a 1/3 human ranger hero, flying. Whenever Firebird attacks, other attacking creatures get +X+O till end of turn, where X is Firebird's power. This is from the Avengers Assemble precon. This is an effect that we've seen a couple of times during this Marvel set, and I'm sure we'll see a couple more of. But it's just like a go wide and your commander pumps all of them.
Yeah.
For making your commander big. So it's like you base it off like a Voltron strategy, make your commander as big as possible, but you have the chance to go wide and hit people in that kind of direction as well.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah.
It just widens pretty much what you said.
Yeah.
I was going to say it in a different way, but
Yeah,
we don't
it
need
widens the range of like you don't just have to build her up. It
Yeah.
makes everything else just as big. We'll move on to our next card, Franklin Richards Ascendant. 5 and a red for a 6/6 mutant hero. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you've cast a non-creature spell this turn, discover 6. This is from the Fantastic Four precon. This is quite strong.
We love Discover.
Yeah, Discover is really awesome. Just a reminder on Discover, you exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card with mana value, in this case 6 or less. Cast it without paying its mana cost, or put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Better than Cascade, because if it's something you don't want to cast, you can just put it into your hand and save it for later. Significantly better for like removal spells / protection spells.
Like, again, different ways. Like, if you wouldn't have this as your commander, putting it into, again, I've mentioned it a few times in the last video, but Prosper deck.
Yeah, Prosper, anything that wants to cast spells from exile, yeah.
Really good.
Yeah, definitely. Anything in those decks is also a pretty strong mono red deck by itself. Discover 6 is on the higher end of the Discover range that we've seen so far. It's
usually around 3s.
Yeah, 3/4s-ish. But yeah, we'll move on to our next card. Hawkeye Master Marksman, 1 and a red for a 2/2 human archer hero. With first strike and reach. Trick arrows. Whenever Hawkeye becomes tapped, you may pay 1 red up to 3 times. When you do, choose up to that many. Choose up to that many. So net, target creature can't block this turn. Explosive, Hawkeye deals 2 damage to target player, or Boomerang, discard a card, then draw a card. I think the way I would personally build this is like some ways of, obviously you want a lot of mana so you can use all of his abilities, but also just like generally speaking other ways to tap him, just so he doesn't need to go into combat because he's weak and doesn't have a way to buff himself. I think it could be an interesting deck. It's nothing crazy, but like it could be kind of fun to mess around with.
Yeah, I agree.
Cool. We'll move on to the next one. Hawkeye Trick Shot. 3 and a red for a 3/4 human archer hero with first strike and reach. Whenever Hawkeye or another hero you control enters, it deals damage equal to the number of heroes you control to any target. This is from the Heroes United scene box.
Fun burn spell.
Yeah, no, he make heroes and then deal damage with heroes. And this is like, it's one of those things where like this kind of is a catch-all for all the things that like care about a certain type, but like there are janky ways of making this deck where you make this as like a hidden commander deck where this is your commander, but you're really just trying to find Maskwood Nexus. That makes all your creatures all creature types, and then have the rest of the deck just be cheap trash, and you're just like, okay, on my turn, 1 drop, 1 drop, 1 drop, 1 drop, cool. It deals 7 damage to you, 5 damage, or like 8 damage to you, 9 damage to you, so on and so forth. Which could be an interesting janky way to build it.
I reckon it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it could be pretty interesting. We'll move on to Hawkeye, Young Avenger. 3 and a red for a 2/4 human archer hero with reach. If a source you control would deal non-combat damage to an opponent, or a permanent and opponent controls, instead it deals that much damage plus X, where X is Hawkeye's power. this is just a good damage increaser
Yeah.
in red decks. Obviously, if it's your commander, you're building it more around spells that will increase its power and equipment that will increase its power. So your burn spells do additional damage. But even if it is just always going to be a base 2/4, that's still an additional 2 damage to anything. So like Lightning Bolt does 5 now, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, okay.
Which is just good.
Yeah, it's solid.
Yeah. So we will quickly move on to Hulking Young Avenger. 2 red for a 4/4 Kree Scroll hero with flying. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, Hulking becomes a copy of up to one other target creature until end of turn, except his name is Hulking Young Avenger. He's a 4/4 and he has flying and this ability. This is also from the Jumpstart set.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. The
More copies again.
yeah,
always talk about
more
copy.
copies. He keeps his base stats and his abilities and stuff, which is cool. It is until end of turn, but like if someone else, it's not targeting your own stuff.
Yeah.
So if someone else has a really cool creature with a really cool like attack effect, then yeah, you just make it a copy of that and get that.
Yeah.
Or just like make your deck around like other creatures that aren't legendary that have other really cool effects.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
It's a neat spell.
Very
and
neat.
costs decent amount. I mean, sorry, it's well costed for what it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll move on to Iron Man, Tony Stark. So 3 red for a 3/3 legendary artifact creature, human hero with flying, and attacking creatures you control gets +1/+0. Whenever you cast a red spell, create a 2/1 colorless robot hero artifact creature token with flying. This is from the beginner box.
Again, so the going wide theme.
Yeah, this is going wide. The main reason this was in here, I mean, it giving attacking creatures +1/+0 is neat.
Yeah.
But the main reason is it's like a card that we saw earlier in the blue section of the Marvel review.
Yeah.
I think it was one of the Namors where it counted the red pips, but this is just red spells in general. So this version of the deck that I'm talking about is just like a spell slinger deck that you just want to be casting a bunch of small red spells and just be making a bunch of these 2/1s with flying, which with Iron Man, Tony Stark's passive, makes them 3/1s with flying, which
So they're pretty solid.
can hit like a
Oh yeah, you get
Yeah.
enough of them.
yeah, 100%. And you definitely can if you're like a red storm deck and you're just constantly casting red spells.
It's like, oh, so he's casting one lightning. Oh, there's like 10. Never mind.
Yeah. It's just like 10 spells, however many, like even if you're just casting 3 spells a turn, that's 3 3/1s with flying.
Yeah, and that's
So,
scary.
Yeah, that's definitely scary. Next we have Killmonger, Ruthless Usurper. 2 and a red for a 3/3 human villain with trample. Whenever Killmonger attacks, he gets +1/+0 for each artifact defending player controls. Whenever Killmonger deals combat damage to a player, that player sacrifices an artifact of their choice, and you create a treasure token. This is from the Doom Prevails precon. Yeah, Red's been getting a couple of these kind of effects recently. There aren't too many of them. I know one was from Thunder Junction where like you're giving your opponent artifacts, but there's a downside to them having artifacts.
Yeah.
And Red also has had a couple of like, oh, you've got a bunch of artifacts, well, I'll take those now effects. So yeah, I think this could be like an interesting, slowly developing archetype.
Getting, more and more interesting the more you see it.
Yeah, and it might not be a okay deck or a good deck now, but like later down the line, this could be the commander for like that kind of deck that it's running.
Yeah.
So yeah, and plus, I mean, it ramps you. So
It ramps. I mean, ramp's always good.
yeah. So we will move on to our next card, Lady Loki, Agent of Chaos, 5 and a red for a 5/5 god, sorcerer, villain. Whenever you cast your first instant sorcery or villain spell each turn, exile it, then exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card. Lady Loki deals damage to each opponent equal to the difference between that spell's mana value and the non-land card's mana value, and that non-land card's mana value. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah, no, this seems like a pretty fun deck.
That seems fun.
I think it plays kind of similarly to my Nero Wild Mage deck, where you put a big difference of low 1-drop cantrips and stuff, and then some high like win cons into your deck, and you just chaos it up and keep spinning that wheel until you hit something good. Like, you could go from like a 1 to a 2, or actually that's to be labyrinth to card. Yeah, or like a 1 to a 1, in which case it does nothing. But you still get to cast that other spell. So like, yeah, I think this is just like an interesting.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It sounds interesting.
I think, what was the downside? Yeah, right. It's not creature, which is a bit unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's villain.
It's villain.
That you'll be able to get a couple of interesting ones from this set.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's mainly an instant sorcery spell slinger deck.
More spell slinger, yeah.
Yeah. Next up, we have Living Laser. 4 and a red. For a 4/4 elemental villain with haste. Whenever Living Laser attacks, for each card you've discarded this turn, create a token that's a copy of Living Laser, except that token isn't legendary. The tokens enter tapped and attacking. Exile the tokens at the beginning of the next end step. This is from the Doom Prevails precon. Yeah, this is nutty.
Yeah.
For each card you've discarded this turn, red is really good at discarding its hand and refilling it with cards. This could easily, I think this is easily 2 cards, if not like probably at least 4 or 5 if you've like prepared for a decent turn. And it being, I mean, it is 5 mana to cast, which is a bit unfortunate, but it does have haste.
Yeah.
I think at the very least you could be getting like 4 copies. And then, like, at most, like, unless you're, like, really popping off, you could probably be looking at, like, 7 to 10.
Yeah.
And that's, like, being, like, pretty generous. Not generous, sorry. It's, being kind of conservative with, like, the amount that you could go up to. I could definitely see turns where, like, on the upper end where you've, like, discarded, like, 15 to 20.
Yeah.
That being, like,
that
more
is
cracked,
entirely
but
possible.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. But yeah, no, this is a pretty cool card.
Yes, I think it's pretty cool.
And more, slightly more of a unique way on this like discard deck that Red's got going on. Next we have Loki, God of Lies. 1 red for a 3/3 God Sorcerer Villain. Whenever you cast a spell that targets only a single creature, gain control of that creature until end of turn. If it's your turn, untap that creature and it gains haste until end of turn. This is from the Villains Unleashed scene box. Yeah, this is
interesting.
Neat. Yeah, it's
again the what's mine is yours sort of theme.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, what's yours is mine.
It's definitely like a I'll use what my opponents give me kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, you want them to like get all their good stuff out, and then you just use like cheap, like, as long as it doesn't say it needs to target your own stuff, like just cheap like buff spells and stuff, target your opponent's things, and then just like bring them over to your side.
Like, well, thank you for
punch them in the face with it. And then like optimally, if you're being that kind of person with the deck, which who knows, you might be, because it is like the optimal way of playing it. You sack them for some other value. Like Altar of Dementia, like you yoink their thing, you punch them in the face with it, and then you sacrifice it and make them build cards, which is
that's mean, but yes. Yeah. I mean, my chaser has done that a few times.
Yeah, it's definitely for you. It's definitely a fun way of playing the game.
To be fair, I have, again, I think I've mentioned this a couple times, but I've been thinking of making a deck like that. So
yeah, it's like we could see it in our pod, which I'm sure our fellow players will thoroughly
I'm sure they'll
enjoy.
love it.
Yeah. Anyway, next we have Loki. Lofenson?
Yeah.
Laufenson or something like that. Anyway,
Lofenson,
one and a red for a 2/1 God Sorcerer Villain. One generic tap whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell with mana value less than or equal to Loki's power. This turn, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. Then he has Power Up, 4 and a red. Put 2 on counters on Loki. Now, we haven't said it this episode or this video, so I'll just do a quick reminder on Power Up. Power Up is a one-time activated ability. So unless this card becomes a new version of itself, you can only play it once per... use it once per game.
Yeah.
It's... is reduced by the card's mana cost if that card has entered the battlefield that turn.
Yeah.
So if you cast Loki and then use its power ability straight away, it would be 3 mana to put 2/1 counters on it, which you do want to do so you can cast more spells.
Yes.
But yeah, no, this is it's a thing that copies spells, which
Another
is
one.
always good. Yeah.
Yes.
There's not too much else to say. It's
No.
an interesting way of doing it. It's fairly cheap.
Yeah.
This probably definitely goes in the 99 of more decks.
I
than
wouldn't put it as a commander personally.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely got more of a build around. I think it's less useful in side decks, but also like you kind of expect what you want it to do in those decks. Yeah. As the commander, you need to dedicate some of the deck to making it bigger.
Yeah.
So you can cast those, so you can copy those other spells easier.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's move on to Nico Minaru, I think.
Minoru, yeah.
Minaru, yeah.
Minoru.
Run away 3 and a red for a 2/4 human warlock hero. Whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, Nico deals 2 damage to each opponent. Then 2 and a red, tap, discard a card, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost. It's from Jumpstart, and I'm going to say it before you do, this goes in Prosper.
Yep.
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 This goes in Prosper, this goes in my PNOR deck, PNLR, whatever, my PN deck. This card is just really good. I mean, it is a mythic, so like, fair enough. It says it's 2 damage to each opponent, which is the some of the words that we're looking for. Yeah, it has no downsides.
I'm glad you covered that before because I was immediately
this is also following another thing that is, I guess, more unfortunate, I think, but like Jumpstart is, if you're just cracking packs, and we haven't gone through the whole set yet, but honestly, I think at the moment you just want to go through Jumpstart.
Honestly,
like Jumpstart's a fun product just to play. Like if you've got someone else, just crack some packs, and as you're cracking packs looking for these fun cards, you have like some like 1v1 games and stuff. But yeah, no, some of the Jumpstart cards are looking amazing.
Good.
Let's move on to our next card, Photon Mighty Marvel. 3 and a red for a 2/4 human hero with flying. Whenever Photon deals combat damage to a player, add that much mana of any one color until end of turn. You don't lose this mana as steps and faces end. This is from the Avengers Assemble Precon. Make a lot of mana.
Yeah.
Make her big.
Make her big.
Cast big spells. It's fairly simple, but we put it in here instead of the skip just because, like, I think it's a fun kind of deck to play.
Yeah.
Like, red... there's been a couple of commanders that have done this semi-recently, where it's just like, make commander big, make a lot of mana, or just, in general, make a lot of mana in mono red is just, like, kind of an interesting, fun playstyle.
Make mana good, yes.
Yes, indeed. Let's move on to our next card, because we have a lot of red cards to get through. Puppet Master String Puller. 2 and a red for a 2/4 human artificer villain. Whenever you attack, go to target creature an opponent controls, it can't block this turn. Just a reminder on Goad, until your next turn, target creature attacks each combat if able, and attacks a player other than you if able. That is the goaded creature that has that text. And then the last ability is whenever one or more goaded creatures deal combat damage to one of your opponents, you create a treasure token. I think this is now one of the... Oh, sorry, real quick. This is also in the Doom Prevails precon. This is also a really good goad commander now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Like there are some good goad commanders, but this one's pretty good. I like.
Yeah, it's definitely, I think it's probably in the top 3 or 4.
Yeah.
It's just, and if it's not the commander, it's 100% in those
It's
decks
in the
now.
deck.
It's fantastic ramp. It is 1 or more, so you're not making any more than 2 per thing. But if you're like goading like the whole board, the max, everyone's board, sorry, with like Disrupt Decorum or one of the like everyone stuff becomes goaded spells.
Yeah.
The max you could get is 6, I believe, because it's if one of your opponents can only attack 2 of your other opponents, then you get 2 triggers from this. So 2, 4, 6. Yeah, you can make in Christmas Land, which honestly isn't probably that
That's
hard.
honestly not far away.
Yeah. You could make 6 treasures in a turn cycle, which is pretty good for a 3 drop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Let us move forward to Red Hulk. 4 red for a 6/7 Gamma Berserker villain with Reach and Trample and Enrage. Whenever Red Hulk is dealt damage, put a 1/1 counter on him. When you do, he deals damage equal to the number of 1/1 counters on him to any other target.
That's pretty solid.
Yeah, no, this is cool. This is another card that was probably close to being on the skip, but it's just something that we don't see too often, where, yes, you want to make him big, and he can do commander damage stuff because they've given him Trample. Reach is just a nice bonus. But, yeah, they just, you find ways of pinging him for 1.
They've gone and made a green card red.
Yeah.
That's pretty much how I would look at this card.
It's definitely just like the enraged mechanic is mostly like a red thing.
Yeah.
And I guess they wanted to include Red Hulk, so yeah, no, it definitely fits. Yeah, and he just gets to he starts at a 6/7, and if the enraged trigger happens, he'll be a 7/8.
Yeah.
In which case, the first ability that happens for him is he does 7 damage to someone's face. And that's without taking in consideration that if you're not the one triggering the arranged ability yourself by pinging him for little bits of damage, then it's like someone else is just like taking a shit ton. There's, I think the fun or like the stronger way of building the deck is probably finding some way to there's probably an infinite or 2 that involves like pinging him for 1 and then him hurting someone else and then being able to ping him for 1 again and rinsing and repeating. But the fact that if you manage to find a way to ping him for 1 consistently, because he gets bigger from that ping, he will never end up dying to the enraged triggers.
Yeah.
So it is like a consistent, like he grows bigger without having to put himself at risk. But anyway, let's move on. Pretty good card for an uncommon. This is She-Hulk Wallbreaker, 5 in a red for a 5/5 Gamma hero with Trample. Other heroes you control have Trample. Whenever a hero you control becomes blocked, put a 1/1 counter on that hero for each creature blocking it. This is from Avengers Assemble. Start off, other heroes having Trample is pretty decent.
That's pretty
It's
decent.
a shame it's heroes and not creatures, but sure, whatever.
Yeah.
They want to push the hero sub-theme, so...
Yeah.
Sure. Same thing with the second ability. Whenever your hero becomes blocked, put a 1/1 counter on that hero for each creature blocking it. Yeah, it gets stronger if it's fighting more creatures.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fine creature / commander. I don't think there's too much more to say about that.
Not a whole
but
lot to
it's
say
like,
about it, but
yeah, it's kind of interesting.
yeah.
Let's move on to Spider-Man, new champion. So this is for 2 and a red, it's a 3/3 spider human hero with reach, and whenever you discard 1 or more cards, Spider-Man deals that much damage to any target. It is from Jumpstart. This is another cool mono red discard deck where you're wanting to just throw away as many cards as possible and deal a bunch of damage. With all these cool new discard cards coming out, this is a bit off topic from specifically building him as a commander, but with all these discard comes coming out, I think I might put my my Flubs the Fool deck back together.
The Flubs.
Like whenever you cast a spell or play a land, you have to discard a card.
Yeah.
And originally that was my discard deck. Just because it has a free way of like throwing things away every turn. But now there's just like so many more extra payoffs for discard that have come out in the last couple of years that just makes it even more worth
There have
playing.
been some really good discard stuff.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, no, this in itself is just a really good way. I think it's a cool build around because obviously in Mono Red you have more ways of chucking things away, but it definitely goes in other decks a lot better.
Yeah.
It's 3 mana, which is a fantastic cost for something that deals potentially this much damage. And yeah, its stat lines are fine.
Yeah. I agree. Definitely in the 99 of other decks.
Yeah. Next, we have Stiltman, Towering Terror, 2 and a red for a 4/2 human rogue villain with reach. Whenever one or more villains you control deal combat damage to a player, gain control of target non-creature, non-land permanent that player controls until end of your next turn. It gains this permanent can't be sacrificed until end of your next turn. This is also from the Doom Prevails precon.
Interesting. So it gets around that you get to steal it and keep it. Sort of.
Well, yeah. I mean, it still has the thing of anything that where you steal people's stuff, where you can just sacrifice it. Oh well, sorry. You can. There are ways of getting around it, but it's not like it's harder.
Yeah.
Damage to player, gain control target non-creature is a bit of a weird one.
Yeah, that's the weird part.
Yeah. So like, I guess you're just stealing like people's rocks and enchantments and stuff. That player controls until end of your next turn's a fun one. Yeah, I mean, at least you get a full turn cycle with it. This is another one. The fact that it doesn't have trample is a bit annoying, and it being a 4/2. But like, yeah, deal combat damage. It's got a couple of things that are like really cool, like it not disappearing until the end of your next turn. Same with the sacrifice thing, even though that might be a bit of a downside. But it's non-creature, so there's harder ways for you to sacrifice them anyway. But yeah, no, it's
weird.
Interesting. It's a bit off with the not stealing creatures and also it having to deal combat damage without having those main keywords for it to do its thing. But yeah, no, it's an interesting card. Let's move on to the Immortal Weapons. 4 and a red for a 4/4 human warrior hero. With when the Immortal Weapons enter, return target instant sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. When you cast a non-creature spell, target creature gets +2/+0 and gains menace until a turn. This is from the beginner box. Yeah, it's
a shame it's only enters.
Yeah, it is only enters, but as with most of the red things, I think a decent amount of this deck will be create a token spells, copy, molten duplicate-esque effects, where you're just making copies of this creature, and you're making it bigger.
Yeah.
As that goes, and if you have 2 of these spells, since you're just returning the spell to your hand, like I could see ways that this could go infinite, where if you've got 2 of the cheaper spells and you have a couple other creatures that when you cast a spell you make a mana, that we'll see later in red, there's another one of those effects, where you can be like, cool, make a copy of the Immortal Warriors. When it enters, you'll get back, I don't know, some instant sorcery in the graveyard. You cast your next one, then you get back the card that you originally casted, making the copy of the Immortal Warriors. And as you're doing this loop of getting back these 2 things that are making more Immortal Warriors, it's getting this Immortal Warriors is getting +2 and +0 and gains menace. And you're just doing that, and this deck will do some like similar stuff. Obviously, you could only include a couple of these copier spells and have the rest just be cool instant sorceries.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there's definitely interesting ways of making this happen, and that's why it's on this list.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so next up we have the Scarlet Witch, 2 and a red for a 2/3 mutant warlock hero. Instant sorcery spells you cast with mana value 4 or greater cost X less, where X is Scarlet Witch's power.
Interesting.
Yeah, this is a fantastic card in the 99 or in the command zone. If you want to make a deck full of just big dumb red spells, this is good. Just to buy itself, if you're basing your whole deck around 4 or greater, this card just reads instant sorcery spells you cast cost 2 less.
Pretty much.
Which is amazing.
That's
for this rate. Usually 2 mana reduced by 1. And then, I don't think we have anything that isn't an artifact that reduces by 2. I don't even know if there's anything that reduces by 2 for instant sorceries. There's one that I know of, and that's 3 mana as well, but otherwise.
Yeah, no, that's...
And this scales really well. Just a couple of spells that make it bigger or equipment that makes it bigger. At some point you can make this scale to the point where it's only going to be the colored cost that you worry about for some of the biggest spells in Magic. I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 is the biggest thing I can think of for a red spell.
Yeah.
And that's not too hard to
getting to 8 from 2 is not that hard.
Yeah, and this is pretty early considering it's a 3-drop. So amazing cost reducer, good in both zones. This is one of the card I was talking about before. So, the Vision and Scarlet Witch, 2 red for a 3/3 legendary artifact creature, mutant hero, with flying. Whenever you cast a spell, add red and put a 1/1 counter on the Vision and Scarlet Witch. This is from Jumpstart once again. Jumpstart taking all the really awesome cards.
Yeah.
This is just whenever you cast a spell, make red mana, and it gets bigger.
Yeah.
This is just amazing wherever you put it. It's a Bergie effect. Bergie also does the similar thing. Cast a spell, make a red mana, but this gets bigger. It has flying as an evasion ability.
It's good.
Yeah, no, I think this is also, again, not really the thing that we cover, but I'm pretty sure this is pretty CEDH playable. I mean, Bergie is CEDH playable, so this is also pretty fucking good. Oh god, dying. Anyway, we'll move on to Thor, Asgard's Avenger, 2 red for a God Warrior hero flying. If another God, I said 4/4, right? Yeah, 4/4 God Warrior hero with flying. If another source you control will deal damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls, it deals that much damage +1 instead. Honestly, this is from Jumpstart and the Avengers Assemble deck, which was actually maybe a mistake on my part. I don't know if it was in both. That might be something you guys need to check out for yourselves. It might be in the Avengers Assemble deck. I'm not too sure about Jumpstart. That seems like a weird combo to me.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Anyway, this is just a fine damage increaser.
Yeah.
This probably could have gone on the skip list.
Um,
It doesn't do too much extra, but you're dealing an additional +1 is fine.
I mean, additional +1's always good.
Yeah, definitely.
Whenever those people live on 1 HP, Archer.
Yeah. Next up, we have Thor, God of Thunder. 3 red for a 5/5. When Thor enters, exile target equipment, instant, or sorcery card from your graveyard until the end of your next turn. You may play that card. When you cast a non-creature spell, Thor deals damage equal to that spell's mana value to any target. Yeah, this is really interesting. I mean, obviously this is Thor throwing his hammer around.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, so, mostly just equipment, but I guess they added instant sorcery to make it more, fun to play.
Yeah.
Or stronger. He is a mythic. But yeah, no, this is a cool, it could be an equipment deck, it could just be an instant sorcery spells deck. When you cast the non-creature spell, it doesn't matter if it's specifically from exile or not, which is pretty good. Yeah, it's just a really good card.
It's interesting. I can see so many different ways of this being done.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Kind of reminded me of me throwing rocks at you guys.
Yeah, with your Rograk or whatever it was. Yeah, no, definitely. It's a fun card. Okay, we'll move on to our next Thor, Guardian of Midgard. 3 red for a 5/5 God Warrior hero with flying. Whenever a source you control deals non-combat damage to an opponent, you may exile that many cards from the top of your library. You may play those cards this turn. This is from the Heroes United scene box. Once again, just like a
general spell slinger stuff.
Yeah, this one's kind of interesting. Usually these mono red burn your opponent's decks run into the one problem that this card solves is card advantage.
Yeah.
Usually you're like, cool, I'll burn you.
I'm screwed now.
I don't have anything to do now. And it takes a while to get up to that point again. And if you've like waited to start doing that, you'll usually your opponents will be like, oh, you did a lot of damage to me, and they'll slightly lean on the edge of overestimating how good the deck is.
Yeah.
But with this, that like solves the problem, because even though he doesn't really do anything for the damage, like he's not helping you kill people, but he is giving you enough card advantage to make you move along that way.
Yeah.
And having like a lightning bolt be technically like a red ancestral recall is pretty good.
Sorry.
But yeah,
I had to laugh at red ancestral recall.
Yeah, no. So yeah, I think this is a fairly strong
That's
card.
fairly strong.
Yeah, definitely. Let's move on to Titania. Proud Pummeler. 3 and a red for a 3/3 human villain with first strike. Melee. When this creature attacks, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each opponent attacked this turn. Other creatures you control have melee. This is from the Doom Prevails precon. This is another one that we probably could have skipped, but it's something that hasn't really happened as often.
We sort of wanted to talk a little bit about melee, I guess.
Yeah. It's we don't get too many melee things, and being able to give all your other creatures melee, just means like it's another good like small guy deck where you're just putting a bunch of
like a go wide prosper almost,
or like just like I think it's more like it's kind of goblin-y, and it's like you want like 1-drop, 2-drop, or like smaller creatures, just creatures like get a wide board and then attack, or like just tokens and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then you just swing.
Yeah, and this fixes the problem of those creatures being on the smaller side of things.
Yeah.
We'll move on to Wiccan Young Avenger. 3 and a red for a 3/3 mutant warlock hero. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, exile the top card of your library. Until your next end step, you may play that card. This is from the beginner box and Jumpstart product once again. We've said this before, but the text being changed from instant sorcery to non-creature is fantastic.
Great. Do I mention the P word again?
I mean, yeah, fuck it.
Prosper,
yeah. Prosper, Pia. And there's so many commanders now that care about you casting things from exile. This is just... I think, even if... And we'll cover this more in our final thoughts in part 3.
Yeah.
But even if you don't like the Avengers stuff, and this might be a shame in which case, even though we do have some other thoughts on that, there are a lot of cards, especially in red, that are helping you with card advantage.
Yeah.
So this set is, if nothing else, really good for red.
Yeah.
And this is just another one of those cards, which probably is just a better auto include in the 99 for these decks that are struggling with card advantage. But otherwise is like an interesting commander to have.
Yeah.
We will move forward. Now finishing up our all our red cards.
Speed run the green.
Yeah, green had the strongest case of the
MCS.
Yeah, MCS and just like generically better cards in the 99 and not really worth being a commander.
Yeah.
We'll go over them in a bit, but there are a couple of, I think, two specifically dinosaur cards that are like, you could run as a commander, but it's just so much better than the 99 that we're like, okay, we'll skip over it. We probably don't need to, but I'll throw a quick. This is one of those cards when we hit past one of them.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get started with the skips. First one is Abomination, a radiated brute, 2 green for a 4/4 gamma villain with trample. Whenever a gamma or villain you control deals. That's a weird sentence. Whenever a gamma or villain you control deals combat damage to player, put that many 1/1 counters on Abomination.
That is a weird sentence.
Yeah. Next, Big Bertha. X and a green for a 1/1 mutant hero. Vigilance. Big Bertha enters with X 1/1 counters on her. 1 and a green. Tap. Put a 1/1 counter on Big Bertha. Next, Black Tom Cassidy. 1 and a green for a 1/3 mutant villain. Tap. Add green. If you control another mutant, gain a life. Next, Bushmaster Coiled Henchman. 1 and a green for a 2/1 snake human villain. With Death Touch, each other creature you control with a 1/1 counter on it has Death Touch. Then we have Colossus Steel Stalwart. 4 and a green for a 4/5. During your turn, Colossus has indestructible. Other mutants you control gets +1/+1. Then we have Darwin Adaptive Mutant. 1 and a green. For a 2/1 mutant hero, it has Evolve. Reminder for Evolve. Whenever a creature you control enters, if that creature has greater power or toughness, then this creature put a 1/1 counter on this creature. Then its other ability is remove 2 1/1 counters from Darwin. He gets indestructible until end of turn. Next we have Devil Dinosaur. 2 green for a 5/5 dinosaur with trample. Other dinosaurs you control get +1/+1 and have trample. This is one of the dinosaurs that we were mentioning before that just goes in basically all dinosaur decks and is just fantastic, but there's not much more to say about it. Next we have Dorman. 1 and a green for a 2/3 mutant hero. Tap. Until end of turn, target creature can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less and or walls. Next we have Flatman. 3 and a green for a 1/10 mutant hero. And its ability is Origami Fu. 2 and a green to switch Flatman's power and toughness until end of turn. Next, Giant Man, Gargantuan Genius. 3 green for a 6/6 human scientist hero with reach. At the beginning of your first main phase, add green for each creature you control with power 4 or greater. Then we have Goliath, Mass Manipulator. 1 and a green for a 2/2 human scientist hero with reach. Power up. 4 and a green, put 2 1/1 counters on Goliath, then draw a card for each creature you control with power 4 or greater. Next we have Hellcat Undying Vigilante. Green for a 2/2 human hero with haste. Whenever Hellcat dies, return her to the battlefield under her owner's control with a 1/1 counter on her. She loses all abilities and gains haste. Then we have Hercules, Prince of Power. 2 and a green for a 3/3 demigod warrior hero with power up. 4 and a green, put a 1/1 counter on Hercules. He gains vigilance, indestructible, and haste until end of turn. Next up, Hit Monkey. 3 and a green for a 3/3 monkey assassin. This spell can't be countered. Has reach, vigilance, death touch, hexproof, and haste. My god, this is going to be a terror in standard. Next, we have Hulk, Brutal Brawler. 2 green for a 4/4 Hulk attacks. 4/4 Gamma Berserker hero. Hulk attacks each combat if able. Whenever Hulk attacks, put a 1/1 counter on each other creature you control. Next, we have Hulking.
Burgoying?
Burgeoning?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Burgeoning. Burgeoning Bruiser. For 2 and a green, 2/3 Kree Scroll hero. Vigilance. Whenever another creature you control enters, if it has greater power or toughness than Hulking, put a 1/1 counter on Hulking. Next is Mr. Hyde, Monster Within. 2 and a green for a 2/2 human villain. At the beginning of your upkeep, choose one, put a 1/1 counter on Mr. Hyde, or remove a counter from a creature you control. If you do, draw a card. Next, Mr. Immortal. 1 and a green for a 2/1 mutant hero. 2 and a green, return this card from your graveyard from exile to the battlefield tapped. Next, we have Moonboy, Dino Rider, 1 and a green for a 2/2 legendary creature. Ape human. Dinosaur spells cost 1 less to cast. Whenever Moonboy attacks while you control a dinosaur, Moonboy gets +1/+1 until turn. This was the other one. Just goes in all dinosaur decks. It costs really cheap.
Yeah.
Cost reduction. Next, we have Nakia, Wakandan Operative, 2 and a green for a 3/3 human warrior hero with reach. Whenever your commander enters, you become the monarch. 2 tap, put 2/1/1 counters on target creature or vehicle, activate only as a sorcery. Next we have Reptile Dinomorpher, 1 green for a 1/2 human hero with Brontosauruses. So 3 generic until end of turn. Reptile. Yeah, it's Reptile, right? Because there's no E.
Yeah.
Reptile becomes a dinosaur hero with base power and toughness 3/5 and gains vigilance and reach. And then his other ability is Tyrannosaurus Rex, 6 generic until end of turn. Reptile becomes a dinosaur hero with base power and toughness 6/6 and gains trample. Next we have Rhino Terrible Trampler, 4 green for a 7/6 human villain with trample. Whenever Rhino enters, destroy target artifact or land, distribute 3/1/1 counters among up to 3 other target creatures. They gain trample until end of turn. Rick Jones Destined Sidekick, 1 green for an 0/3 human advisor. Pay 3, tap, mill 4 cards. You may put a hero or enchantment card from among the milled cards into your hand. She-Hulk Jade Defender, 3 and a green for a 4/4 Gamma Hero, reach, trample, power up, 4 green, destroy up to 1 target artifact or enchantment, put a 1/1 counter on She-Hulk. Then we have Storm, Shaker of Skies, 4 green for a mutant hero with flying. When Storm enters, destroy up to 1 target artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying. The Fabulous Frogman, 2 and a green for a 3/3 human hero with reach. The Thing, Ben Grimm, 5 and a green for a 7/7 human hero with trample. Whenever 1 or more heroes you control deal damage to a player, put 2/1/1 counters on the Thing. I'll quickly mention this again. I said in the part 1 that I wasn't going to, but I'll might as well mention this in each of the parts. These do the 4 Incredibles go infinite with each other, all the uncommons. But we're not elevating them from the skip level, just because that would require a 4-color deck, and this is more so evaluating if it's a commander or not if they're good cards if you have all 4 pieces together. It's just a cool interaction.
I'm sure a lot of things are like that.
Yeah. Next we have Tigra Feline Fury, 1 and a green for a 2/1 cat human hero with flash, trample, and whenever you gain life, put a 1/1 counter on Tigra. And then we have Tippy Toe, Terrific Partner, 3 and a green for a 2/4 squirrel hero. If you create 1 or more tokens, instead create those tokens plus an additional food token. At the beginning of your end step, if you gained life this turn, draw a card. White Tiger Amulet Keeper, 1 and a green for a 3/1 human hero, 3 and a green, exile this card from your graveyard, draw a card. You may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. Then we have White Tiger Ava Ayala. 1 and a green for a 2/2 human hero with power up, 5 and a green. Put a 1/1 counter on White Tiger and create the Tiger God, a legendary 4/4 green cat god creature token. With the Tiger God can't be blocked by more than 1 creature. Then we have Wolfsbane Highland Hero, 1 and a green for a 2/2 mutant werewolf hero with trample, 2 and a green. Wolfsbane gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Activate only once each turn. Then we have Wolverine Claws Out, 3 and a green for a 2/5 mutant berserker hero. You may have Wolverine assign his combat damage as though he weren't blocked. Whenever a mutant you control attacks, double its power until end of turn. Then we have X23 Deadly Weapon, 2 and a green for a 3/3 mutant berserker hero. Whenever another mutant you control enters, put a 1/1 counter on that creature and a 1/1 counter on X23. Then we have Zuri, Warrior of Wakanda, 1 and a green for a 2/2 human warrior hero with trample. Whenever you cast a Artifact spell with mana value 4 or greater. Put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control.
How you feeling, Mr. Rap God?
Oh, dude, my voice. Yeah, no. So, as I'm sure some of you might have said and thought of, and what we've said at the start as well, some of those cards, as like even some of the last couple, even though they're not completely interesting, they are all. Some of them are, most of them anyway, are pretty good in their own right.
Yeah.
You could run them as your commanders, but some of them were like really good as your commander, but were
just
too straightforward.
Yeah, they're just straight simple, and there's not really much else you can do with them.
And if you want to play in that way, then that's completely up to you. And the deck can function really well. But they're just not things that we wanted to talk about personally.
Not really.
Yeah. So we'll start off with our actual green cards now.
Yeah.
The ones that we found slightly more interesting, or at least had something else to slightly talk about with.
Yeah.
So this is Doc Samson, Super Psychiatrist for 4 and a green. They're a 3/6 Gamma Doctor Hero. If you would put one or more counters on a permanent you control, put that many +1 for each of those counters on that permanent instead. Tap, add X mana of any one color, where X is Doc Samson's power. A couple of things, real quick. This has 2 things that aren't so new, but are relatively new. One, it's a mana dork in the command zone, which is pretty good. And second, it is a hardened scales effect in the command zone, which is, I think, a more recent, if not a new effect that we've had.
Yeah, I was about to say, so it's pretty much a Hardened Scales Mana Rock that's a creature.
Yeah, and we can have in the command zone, which is
good.
Yeah. It's doing both of the effects, but I think this probably could have just been 4 mana.
Yeah.
It is a tiny bit expensive, but whatever. Its stat line's
it is green as well.
Yeah.
So
It's easy enough to get out, I suppose. Next card we have is Hulk, Strongest There Is. 2 green for a 3/3 Gamma Berserker hero with Trample. Hulk enters with a 1/1 counter on him. At the beginning of your upkeep, double the number of 1/1 counters on each Gamma creature you control. This is from Jumpstart. My immediate thought is, wow, that sounds amazing until you get to Gamma creature.
Yeah, and then you get to Gamma and it's
There are definitely ways around that. Like we've said before, Maskwood Nexus is the duct tape of all. Oh wow, this creature type sucks.
Yeah.
So like if you can do that, then your whole board suddenly you get double 1/1 counters on your
Which
upkeeps.
is very scary.
Yeah, it's terrifying. If not, this is just, you manage to ramp this out early, then you get 1/1 counter.
Yeah.
2, then 4, and then so on and so forth.
Exponentially gets bigger and bigger.
It is upkeep, so it's a bit slow, but it's still a really good card, I think. And obviously he has trample, so that's fun.
Trample's always fun.
Yeah, for you. Next we have Khazar of the Savage Lands. 4 and a green for a 3/2 human barbarian hero. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may play lands from the top of your library. When Khazar enters, create Zabu, a legendary 2/2 green cat creature token with landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, put a 1/1 counter on Zabu.
It's basically what's it called?
Oracle of Moldiah-ish, but you can't play extra lands. It's pretty cool. I think the main reason we had this on here instead of skip, besides being able to look at the top of your library and play lands from the top, which are cool effects, is it's creating a token that is like a copy of a card that has already existed in Magic, which is it's kind of neat. But no, I think this is like a pretty, all things considered, interesting.
I would still think I would have it as the 99 though.
Yeah,
I don't think
it seems very 99-esque. It's a bit of a shame. Like, I know it'd be a bit pushed and wouldn't be an uncommon, but I kind of wish it said you could play an additional land.
Yeah.
In that case, it would have been fantastic. But,
yeah, it would have been insane.
But yeah, no. We will move on to our next good boy.
Not a good boy.
Lucky, the pizza dog. Also probably really unhealthy boy. So for 1 and a green, we have a 2/2 legendary creature dog. Whenever you cast a cat, dog, or hero spell, create a food token. And then at the beginning of each end step, if you gained life this turn, put a 1/1 counter on lucky. Now, was this worth talking about? No, not really. But
cute boy.
It's a dog, bro. Like,
Also, immediate thoughts of Rin and Seri.
yeah, Ren and Siri, other like casting. The heroes isn't as important, but cats and dogs, both can be found in green, so that's fine. Any like generic life gain decks, this just being like, oh yeah, you might get like cats, like the Ajani-esque spells.
Yeah.
Like usually they're all cats, because there are cat people, so this will trigger and get you food, and they usually all care about life gain, and this puts 1/1 counters on lucky as like a growing threat. So even though he's not that great as the commander, unless you just want the good boy,
Yeah.
he's definitely all right in the deck, considering all that he can do for 2 mana.
I also just realized that's a cat playing with, like, is that like cheese
Yeah,
or something?
there's a cat in the background as well. Yeah, the
cheese
white
from
cat.
the pizza,
Yeah, there's a piece of cheese and then like I think a pepperoni dangling off the end. I think there's a Hawkeye card as well where you can we'll see if we can put it on
Oh my God,
screen.
there's a black cat there.
Yeah, and it has Hawkeye. I think he's like leaving his house and he has a pizza from his hand, and you can see Lucky in the background like looking at the pizza. That's super adorable. We'll see if we can find it and put it on the screen. And yeah, this is from Jumpstart. We'll move on to our next card, which is Mbaku. Mumbaku. Jabari Chieftain. 1 and 2 green for a 4/3 human noble warrior. At the beginning of your end step, if there is no monarch, target opponent becomes the monarch. Whenever a creature attacks one of your opponents, if that player is the monarch, that creature gets +1/+1 and gains trample until end of turn. This is in the Wakanda Forever precon. This is a fairly simple deck, but it's an interesting and unique thing in mono green.
Yeah.
There has been a couple of cards in the past, and I think 2 or 3 from this set that gives someone else monarchy, but it's an interesting concept of like I want monarchy because I like the extra card draw, but you can have it, and I'm gonna punch you in the face for having it.
How dare you?
I think it's neither of us are massive Marvel buffs. Like you so definitely more than I am, but I do find the idea like funny, and I'm sure this isn't how it plays out in the story, but like that he's like, you are now king because there is no king. Bring it, bitch. I want that crown.
Unironically, kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of.
No, that's funny.
But he also doesn't really want anything to do with it. So
Yeah.
it's kind of weird. Yeah, I don't, there's not much.
It's like unique. Like you're attacking with other creatures. You're fighting over the monarchy. Like it might deter people from taking the monarchy off you, but yeah, in all things being said, I don't think it's like that amazing.
No, it's not super amazing. It's just kind of funny.
It might be. So the mana cost was 3 mana. I think
3
that's
is not bad.
It's fine if you want like a fun little sub game and like an alright card to chuck in an already green deck, then like sure.
Yeah, why not?
Anyway, we'll move on to our next card, Medusa Inhuman Queen. 2 and a red for a 2/2 Inhuman Noble Hero with Vigilance and Reach. Whenever a player casts a non-creature spell, put a 1/1 counter on Medusa. This is from the Fantastic Four precon. This you had originally put as a skip.
Yes, I did.
Why did you put this as a skip? Out of curiosity.
It just seems straightforward. That's
I definitely agree. It's straightforward. Vigilance is good. Reach is all right, especially with Vigilance. Would have liked to see Trample on a creature that gets bigger, but the fact that it does the thing where it has the line of text that we've been talking about through all these videos of whenever a player casts a non-creature spell, you put a 1/1 counter on it. It's like it gives me Saruman vibes. The one where like whenever a player casts a spell, you amass Orcs 1.
Yeah.
Where it's like, cool, hey, do you want to just like not play the game, or do you want to make my thing huge?
Like, now that I'm rereading it, like,
Like I get why it's like it's strong and you can just generally skip it, but I think this puts two things together that are just really good.
yeah,
The fact that it's whenever any player does it is just
that's insane. Like, it's gonna get big from
yeah.
people just playing.
Like I can see in the late game, like it's a 3-drop, so it can be dropped early. But I can see in the late game you being like, cool. It's like like early game you're like, cool. I cast it. Yeah, it gets a counter. Okay, it gets a counter, and then like maybe you've got a creature deck or something.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, it doesn't do anything on your turn. And then like a couple of turns later, it's like, okay, it's a 10-10 now. Everyone's like kind of scared of it. And then it goes around the table in the late game. And it's like, cool, it's a 20-20 now. It's like, when the hell did it get that big? Well, that guy was storming off on his turn.
That guy did
And
like
you
40
were
combos.
you were like counteracting him with like interaction and stuff. So like I was just like,
I was
turning
just
this
here,
dial
bro.
up, bro. Yeah. So yeah, it
So
could just
then-
be like a cool growth threat that
I was
just
gonna
gets
say,
big.
then you add the issue of like green trample.
Yeah, like
Trample's so
it's
easy.
fairly easy to give green and
Indestructibles.
trample. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. Next up we have Mole Man, Moleweed Master, 2 and 8 green for a 1/1 human villain. With you may play lands from your graveyard and landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, create a 1/1 green minion creature token named Moleweed. With whenever this whenever this token attacks, you may mill a card. This card is really good.
Yeah.
For one, has joined the multitude of 3-drops and just cards in general that let you play lands from your graveyard, which we do have a ton of now.
Yeah.
Which, whatever. You now have your pick of them, but this landfall ability is the shit. Like,
Yeah.
you make a 1/1 creature that has no downside. Like, I can't remember what it's called for the life of me, but there's a card from Edge of Eternities that lets you play cards from your land from your graveyard, and lets you play an extra land, and it mills your card whenever you have
I
so
feel like we were
landfall
talking
mill a
about this
card.
the other night, and I already forgot what it was called.
Yeah. But that card's really good, but it has a problem where it makes you mill. And even though that's good in some decks, and you kind of want to put more lands in your graveyard, it has this annoying effect of like just making your turns take longer than they need to.
Yeah.
Because instead of being like, cool, sometimes when you're playing, you'll be like, okay, I need to shortcut this. Listen, I've got a fetch land. I can play 2-3 lands a turn. I'm just gonna like play it, fetch, and play a land and fetch, and play a land and fetch. Instead of doing that, you have to now play a land, mill a card, fetch, mill a card, play a land, mill a card, fetch, mill a card, and each time you have to be shuffling your library. So it's a bit cumbersome. But with this, the tokens it makes are RMA. So it's not like you have to, like, there's no like weird like, oh, well, this is kind of annoying, I have to mill. And they don't have any weird clauses on them either, where it's like, I can't attack or block, or I can't block, or I can't attack. That usually come with these smaller tokens.
A solid. It's just a 1/1 that.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I think this goes in tons of decks, and I'm definitely considering putting this in my Lewin Worms deck.
Yeah.
Worms going to be enjoying their mole friends.
Please no.
Anyway, next we have a fun one. This is Sauron, not Sauron, or it might be Sauron or Sauron. The non-evil Dark Lord in a different way. Dino Devotee, 3 green, and there are 4/4 dinosaur vampire villain. I don't know why I didn't realize it was a vampire earlier. Anyway,
Yeah.
flying whenever Sauron enters or attacks, choose one. I'll just read the abilities first before reading the flavor text. You gain 3 life, or put a Saurian counter on another target creature. It's a green dinosaur with base power and toughness 5/5 for as long as it has the counter on it. Now, obviously, the second ability is a lot stronger. 3 life. Actually, sorry. Rewind that. This is a card from Jumpstart.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, you, the viewer, could probably just guess that from hearing the abilities and being like, oh, this is a good card. Yeah, it's Jumpstart. Anyway, so yeah, 3 life, especially in Commander, not a big life
Not
swing.
great.
It being an enters or attacks trigger is really good. So yeah, 3 life a turn, it's fine. Second one, a lot stronger ability. Obviously, both these get better if you have ways to double your triggers and so on and so forth. But this is the fun bit. And the bit that I think everyone enjoys when it comes to this card specifically. Its stupid ability, the one that you're probably never going to use, as the player, is Cure Cancer. So yeah, Cure Cancer.
Yeah.
You gain 3 life.
Turns out you only needed to gain 3 life to cure cancer, guys.
Yeah. Cancer wasn't worth that much, as it turns out. Or, your other option, now that we've discussed the better option, is turn people into dinosaurs. Cool. Like,
Yeah.
what's your choice? It's like, do you cure cancer for the good of all mankind? Or do you turn them into dinosaurs?
I have turned
I
into
know.
dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems good to me, bud. The other funny thing, and this doesn't really happen often. It's more of like a bargaining thing, but you could turn other people's stuff into dinosaurs.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a downside for them. It doesn't remove their abilities or anything. It just makes them 5/5s.
Yeah.
But like, it's funny.
You can the 1/1 mana dork is now a dinosaur.
Yeah. I just think it'd funny if like you have this in the same deck as like a Ragavan or something.
Yeah.
It's like, cool, I turned my monkey into a dinosaur. Now you're getting hit for 5 and I'm stealing your shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've probably said enough about this cup. Let's move on to our next one. Shang-Chi Martial Mentor. 3 green for a 4/4 human warrior hero. If one or more 1/1 counters would be put on a creature you control, twice that many 1/1 counters would be put on that creature instead. Put 3 1/1 counters on Shang-Chi for the power of ability 5 green. Yeah, can you guess what set this is from?
Oh, it's got to be heroes, right?
Oh yeah, sure, yeah. No, it's Jumpstart. Shut the fuck up. No, of course it's Jumpstart. It's too good. It 5 is a decent amount of mana, but this is doubling your counters, so like whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is awesome. This is a great card for doubling counters. His power of ability, is actually just put 6 1/1 counters on it for 2 extra mana.
2 green, yeah. I mean,
Oh,
sorry,
two
just two
colourless.
colorless mana.
Yeah, so you pay 7 in total for this, and you get what, a 10/10.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually not bad, right? Anyway,
Yeah.
there's not much to say about it except for I'd like to mention Slimes Against Humanity.
I thought we were gonna make the video without saying it.
Yeah, no. So yeah, they slimes are any number in the deck, and they come in with 1/1 counters equal to the amount of slimes in exile.
Oh no.
Uses in exile / graveyard. Yeah, I mean a commander that doubles 1/1 counters is nuts in that deck or in the deck.
I have to start having a Slimes Against Humanity peeking off the screen.
It's just like some ooze dripping in.
Yeah.
Anyway, Shang-Chi, Master of Kung Fu, 1 and a green for a 2/2 human warrior hero. You may activate abilities of creatures you control as though those creatures had haste. Tap, add 2 mana of any one color. Spend this mana only to activate abilities of creature sources. Yeah, so this is the shit when it comes to CDH.
Yeah.
There are some decks like Kinnan or Thrasios, Kinnan specifically, which has the activated ability of being able to look at, I think it's like the top 7 cards and play a spell or something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
And doubles mana abilities. So this would tap for 4 mana towards its activated ability. And that's a mana dork deck. And this lets your mana dorks tap as soon as they come in.
Yeah.
And again, Kinnan's ability lets it tap for double. I just thought I'd mention that first. Obviously, we're not a CDH podcast YouTube channel.
I'm never gonna pretend to know how to do CDH.
Yeah, no, I'm not great at it either, but I thought I'd mention that. Just saying, because if it's a CDH card, it's almost certainly really good in our format.
Oh yeah.
Like, the fact that you can use a mana dork, like, your Birds of Paradise now, like, is just mana neutral when you play it. And, like, if you have any mana dorks that tap for more than they cost, then, like, you're just off to the races. Like, you can make a kind of fancy, like, mono green storm deck
Oh no.
where, like, I think there's a spell that, like, whenever you cast a creature spell, you draw a card. So if you have that and, like, a deck full of mana dorks, like, as long as you don't whiff too many times, you can just be like, mana dork, tap, mana dork, tap, mana dork, tap, mana dork, tap. And it's like, cool. Die, please.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, let's move on to our next green card. The Unbeatable Squirrel Girl. 1 green, green, green for a squirrel human hero. That is a 4/4 with the ability, do you like squirrels? Whenever the Unbeatable Squirrel Girl enters or attacks, create a 1/1 green squirrel creature token, and then the next ability is, I love squirrels! 1 green, green, green. To create X 1/1 green squirrel creature tokens, where X is the number of squirrels you control.
So it gets exponentially better.
Yeah, it gets exponentially better, and as long as you have some way to give the squirrels haste, it is very easily infinite squirrels.
Oh yeah.
So the combo in this case, I mean, by itself, this is just a really good card. By itself, it makes a lot of squirrels, and people love squirrels. It does all the things by itself, but otherwise, it's just the combo in question is something that gives haste, and then something that turns your squirrels into mana dorks. So it would be like Cryptolithrite, that's a 2-cast enchantment that makes all your creatures tap to add a color of any mana, and then like even like a I can't remember what the 1-drop world enchantment is that gives all creatures haste, or even just like a Greaves, because its equip cost is 0. You can move it onto 1, tap it, move on to a different one, tap it, so on and so forth, and just it's a bit slower, but it does the same thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this is a really good card.
It is good.
Let us move on to our next card, Wakabi, Shield of the Nation. 1 and a green for a 2/3 human warrior hero with vigilance. Whenever you attack with your commander, if you control an artifact with mana value 4 or greater, create a 4/4 green rhino creature token with trample. This is, of course, from the Wakanda Forever precon.
Yeah. Interesting. I mean, does it count itself as its commander? It would, right?
Yeah. Which is a funny thing that comes with this set. So yeah, if you attack with your commander, whenever you attack with your commander, if you control an artifact, so yeah, just like a mana rock or whatever.
Yeah.
You with mana value 4.
Okay, so probably not a mana rock.
Well, no, if you I mean it could be, but yeah, like just an artifact that's kind of big.
Yeah.
You make a rhino. So this plus like some fun token doublers. It's good to know that the token isn't legendary, so you can just get exponentially more 4/4 tramplers. That's usually the downside of these kind of decks, is like it's usually a specific legendary creature token.
Yeah.
So you can only ever have one, but in this case you can start accruing rhino value.
True.
Anyway, let us finish up, because that was our last green card.
Wow.
A lot shorter than our other episode. In fact, I think this is running up to just a tiny bit over what our first Lawn Eclipse video was, which was so short in comparison to everything else. Thank God we decided to do the skip/speed runs, because otherwise these episodes would be 3 to 4 hours long, and God knows anyone wants to actually listen to those.
No.
Anyway, if you want to check out any of any of the commanders that we have covered in this video and will cover in future videos, such as part 3, where we'll be covering multicolored and colorless cards, we have put a link to our Archidekt page in the description down below.
Also, we'd love to hear from you, the viewer. If you have any ideas on what you would want to see from our channel moving forward and ways we can improve, please let us know down below.
Yeah, definitely. As always, thanks for watching. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.